Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph, and we are back at the American Civil War Museum's Homefront Education Series, where we bring the stories from the Civil War era right to you at home. Now, this video is the second part of our reading of So Tall Within. So if you haven't seen part one, you might want to pause this video and start with the first one. But for those of you who were with us on the first round, may need a refresher. And so here's what's happened so far. Isabella was a girl born into slavery in New York State at the end of the 1700s. She endured much, including being separated from her family several times before she finally seized freedom for herself and her child. Even when she thought she had gotten to safety and freedom for the rest of her family was on the horizon, she had to fight to save her son after he was sold away south. But fight she did, and she won. Even with victory in hand, though, Isabella's work was not done. She took the name Sojourner Truth and began to walk far and wide to tell the truth about slavery.
In slavery time, when words seemed weaker than whips, Sojourner Truth left New York City with a bundle of clothing on one arm and a basket of food on the other. She began to speak out against slavery to whoever would listen. Not everyone wanted to hear, but she had the lever of truth. So she spoke. In Massachusetts, she said, "What beautiful world this would be when we all should see everything right side up." In Ohio, she said that she had seen some of her children sold off into slavery, and when I cried out with a mother's grief, none but Jesus heard. In Indiana, she said, "The truth is powerful and will prevail." In slavery time, when tiredness stood at the doorway, Sojourner Truth walked all the way to Washington, D.C. There she met Abraham Lincoln, and she told him he was the best president who has ever taken the seat. In Michigan, she collected food and clothing for black regiments of free men and former slaves fighting in the Civil War to end slavery. In Virginia, she worked with the Freedmen's Bureau to teach liberated slaves how to live in freedom. When some people wanted to stop her, she warned that if they tried, she would rock the United States like a cradle. And in Washington, D.C., when a streetcar conductor would not pull up for her, she cried, "I want to ride," so loudly that the carriage traffic around them stopped, and she got on. The conductor threatened to throw her off, but she told him that she knew the laws as well as he did, and she stayed on and rode longer than she planned to make the most of it. For years and years, Sojourner Truth walked and told her story and fought for freedom. And when slavery time finally ended, she felt so tall within. In freedom time, when hope kindled a fire in the dark and happiness winked over the horizon, Sojourner Truth told an audience in Massachusetts, "Children, I have come here like the rest of you, to hear what I have to say." And what she had to say was plenty. She spoke of a woman's right to vote. She spoke about making prisons more humane. She asked the government to offer more land to former slaves. She spoke against capital punishment. For almost 15 more years, she walked thousands of miles to Philadelphia and to Brooklyn and to Washington, D.C., and to Kansas and Iowa and Missouri and Wisconsin and Illinois and all over Michigan. And everywhere she went, she spoke of freedom. In freedom time, when respect wanted to show its face and broken promises tried to mend, Sojourner Truth walked back to Battle Creek, Michigan, where she lived with her free daughters and free grandchildren. And Sojourner Truth was weary and ready to lay down her lever. In freedom time, when chains broke and words got up to sing, and tiredness, oh tiredness, danced a hallelujah, Sojourner Truth asked herself, what is anybody in the world for? Then she looked up at those same stars, that same moon, and she saw them shining over everyone. And she knew what she had been in the world for. I had work to do, she thought. My lost time that I lost being a slave was made up.
Just like gaining her own freedom didn't stop Sojourner Truth from going out to end slavery everywhere, her long walk didn't just stop with the end of slavery itself. Her experience transformed her into a person who spoke out against injustice everywhere. That made her a villain to some, but a hero to many more. Who are some of your heroes? Are they characters from a book, movie, or TV show? Are they real people that you've seen on TV or in the news? Are they people in your own family? What do you think makes them a hero? Write it out. Talk about what makes a hero, or draw a picture that you can share with your family. If you want to, you could even share it with us by sending it to education@acwm.org. We'll put out some of your heroes on our Homefront Education page. We look forward to seeing what's important to you. That's all for now, but we'll see you the next time you want to take a walk through history with us.